Shalom, y'all. Bashim Yashabakata, Yahweh Shamar Alathun, Bashim Yashar, Prison Officer of 1000 Matham Yard, out of I.S.U.P.K, so out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander during YAHANNA, we've been teaching the truth about the Bible, that Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are God's chosen people, you know what I'm saying, and that our oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. All right, so, today is the Brotherhood Class. We're going to go over a few things, you know what I'm saying, and a lot is going on, you understand, in this world today. But it's imperative that we have to stay focused and stay strong on what we have to do, on what needs to be done. What needs to be done is that we need to separate from the society and everything that's deemed good in this society, everything that's looked at as being great. You understand? Because the way the Most High is flowing and the way this world is going is two opposite directions. All right. If you follow behind what this world wants you to be and wants you to to look up things to look up to, you're gonna be steering into the wrong path. You're gonna be steering into the path of, Satan. You understand? You're gonna be steering into the path where you're gonna go down to you're gonna be destroyed, going to the path of destruction. All right. So this is what we have to do. What we have to do is we have to make sure that we're going on to the right path. You know what I mean? Because the Most High is going towards the path of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians waking up according to this Bible. Waking up and finding out that they the real Israelites according to the Bible. Waking up and finding out that our oppressors hate us and they can never have no love for us. They ain't never getting along with any of our oppressors. That's what we have to do. And that's what the Most High wants us to wake up to the fact of knowing and having this, stained in our heads. You understand? Because once we have that and we add that to our our niche, and add that to our, one of the many things that we teach our children, you understand, we'll have a whole, our society, our communities, our neighborhoods, everything as we know it, as far as Black and brown goes, concern is that, is going to turn upside down. Everything's going to go and fit in the right places. Everything is going to be right. We're going to have brotherhood because the Most High said to love your neighbor, as ourselves. He said to, to not have an evil eye towards another brother. And when it's talking about your neighbor in the law, it's talking about your brother. It's talking about your brothers, all right, and your, your family. Your fellow, your people, not everybody. You understand? So what we have to do is go down. We got to figure out what the Most High wants, what He wants, because obviously what He wants is going to happen. Obviously, what He says is going to happen, is obviously it goes without saying that it's going to happen. All right, and He said that these 12 tribes are going to come together. They're going to come together and we going to stop hating each other. And we're going to figure out, that we better off together anyway. And these other nations ain't going to stand a chance. And they're not going to be able to stand once we come back together. All right. So, there's plenty of scriptures, plenty of precepts talking about it. One of the many precepts, the ones we pull all the time, Zephaniah 2:1, where it says, where it says, gather together, gather together, O nation not desire. You understand, where the Most High says Black people, Latinos, and Native Americans must come together. He actually knows, like you would think that you know everything and you know that, what's best for us and everything like that. If you go off your own mind and your own ways and your own ideology, you're going to lead us into, destruction, because all you think about all day is eating seafood boils and, celebrating the next oppressor's holiday. You understand, when the Most High raised up men, raised up prophets of the Lord, where he teaches the people how to not go into that path. He teaches the people that prophet, that priest and prophet teaches about our high holy days. What our high holy days are, the Passover, the biggest one. You understand? All these different high holy days and convocations that we have and we hold dear to us. You understand? But if you go down, you listen to whatever black leader we have today, he'll have you celebrating Christmas and everything that this society wants you to celebrate. 4th of July coming up and all that. You understand? When all these holidays and these days that our oppressors want us to observe, you understand? These are days that where we were still in captivity and we have nothing to do with these days. Where we were in captivity during Memorial Day, during 4th of July, during all these days that the Most High doesn't seem special, doesn't deem as special. Understand? The Lord doesn't want us to be a part of this society. Let me read a precept. You know what I'm saying? Let the Lord speak real quick. The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, it's like for I, the Lord, am holy. The Most High is holy. You understand? Anytime you hear the word holy, it means separate. All right. So the Most High said, ye are holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people. He separated us from these other societies, from these other nations. He made us separate from them. So why are we trying to get back together with them? It never makes sense for us to try to get better. That's like thinking we can get better by getting close with our oppressors, close with these heathen that don't care about us at all. Understand? They don't care about us. How do I know? Because they sell us paraphernalia out they store, drug paraphernalia out of their stores. They sell us all things that could do nothing but hurt us. You understand? I seen them. They give that stuff to, I mean, like I see our young kids, you know what I'm saying, smoking vapes and all that all over the place. You understand? And it's crazy because it's like a normal thing now amongst our youth. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like we so destroyed here, and it's because of these nations. It's because we're so suppressed and beat down here in the society. So what we have to do is follow what God wants. And how do you know what God wants? It's in the Bible. And how do you know where the how you know what the breakdowns of the Bible and what the breakdowns is talking about? Where do you learn the breakdowns is in the I.S.U.P.K. All right, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You understand? We've been breaking these things down since 1969. You understand? Where brothers from all different walks of life come out of their ways, come out of their old ways, realize that can never be the right way to live unless you want to live to die. You know what I'm saying? Live to die to be unalived early. You know what I mean? Before your time, and we can't. That's not the way for us. That's not the way the Most High had it set up for us, man. In the beginning, He didn't have it set up like that for us. Only reason why we suffering and dying today is because we don't know how to follow God. We don't know how to really walk in the path of righteousness because we are piling in the Christian church all day long. We're piling in the Christian church all day long and we thinking we following God, but in fact, we getting tricked and pimped out by these different Christian churches around, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't never do no good for us, man. It said, the Lord said, bear with me a second. It says, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. So when the Lord said, He severed us from other people, He knows better than everybody else. He knows better than the regular, normal, average person, average brother. You know what I mean? If you listen to the average brother, you'll be like, well, why can't we be together with everybody else? Our leaders say that today. Our leaders say that to this day. Like, they still trying to merge us in with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? They get it all from that trait of Dr. Martin Luther King's. I don't know why I'm calling him a doctor. I don't, you know what I mean? But that, and his real name is Michael Luther King, Michael King. You understand? He was a trader that, you know what I mean, that had us go, that had us integrate with our oppressive society. And he knew that it was a mistake at the end where he said that, you know what I mean, I feel like I led my people into a burning house. And that he actually did. Because today we're dying slowly. We're dying slowly. Every day I see, you know what I mean, our people suffering. Our people got, you know what I mean, they where they live at is in the train stations. They live underground subways. You understand? That's where our people live at. You know what I mean? And it's evil, and it's, you know what I mean, not to be that way. It's not to be that way. The Lord meant for us to be above every single nation. When you read in the Bible, the Lord had us to be set up to be above everybody. Let me get that precept real quick. Then we're gonna get into other things. You understand? Deuteronomy 7:6 says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself." Now, right here it says, you know what I mean, that we are be a special people to the Lord, to the Most High. And we special, and doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell that we special. You understand? We excel in everything. We excel in all inventions. We excel in all sports entertainment. You understand? Wherever you want to name. You understand? Hockey, soccer, football, what the other tribes will call it. You understand? Basketball, you name it. The NFL. We are at the top. You know what I mean? We're the top echelon of everything. Everything we touch is gold. Everything we touch turns to gold. So why are we still suffering? Why are we dying? Like what? Why is our condition the way it is? Our condition, if you look at it, if anybody's not living under a rock, you know what I'm saying, we getting drugged out. We ODing off of drugs every day, and you know what I'm saying, we living like it's normal. We acting like it's normal, and this is the way to be, and this is how it's gonna be forever. You understand? But that's not how it's supposed to be, because what it said right here, it said, let me get it real quick. Salagia. The Lord did not Salagia. Let me see. Verse 6. For the Lord, Salagia, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So, you know what I'm saying? The Most High said we're supposed to be above all people. Every single last nation on this earth. When I say nation, I'm talking about race. You understand? Every single last race on this earth, we're supposed to be above them. So why, you know what I mean, our oppressors got their boot on our necks to this day. You understand why every time we want to get, you know what I mean, some chicken, fried chicken, we gotta go to get some chicken from the Arabs. You understand? We gotta go to Crown Fried, and we gotta, you know, do all that, and you know what I mean, get some chicken from the East Indians. We got to do these things because we don't have anything. We've been stripped of all power of anything that we could possibly have, possibly get, you know what I mean, possibly have to help our nation out. We've been stripped of it. We've been robbed of it. You understand? And in turn, you know what I'm saying, we, in rewards that we get for that, you know what I mean, we get pacified with drugs, we get pacified with cheap food, you understand, get pacified with things like that. You understand? The only hope we got left right now, you know what I'm saying, the hope that we got left is the bodegas. You understand? The bodegas, you know what I mean, they got everything we need. So it's a time of trouble, you understand, we're gonna lean on one another. You understand? That's why the Most High said, when these tribes come together, man, it's gonna be something crazy. It's gonna be, you understand, it's gonna be unstoppable when we get back together. You understand? We look at the society today, and they call us the minority. They call, not that we care about numbers and all that, right? But they call us the minority. They call, you know, black people, Latinos, and the Native Americans a minority. You understand? But when we come together, because what everybody do not know is that we one family and that we are the same people. So when these families, because that's what the word tribe is, tribe mean, these small these large families, when they come back together, you know what I'm saying, we make up one big family and we really outnumber everybody. Yeah, and you understand, not that we care about our numbers or anything like that, but let's see how the point is being how strong we will be once we all come back together. Once we come back together, can't nobody stop us. And plus we following the Lord. I mean, yeah, this place better say it's goodbyes. Better say it's goodbyes and let it be like that. You understand? So what we have to do is come back together. Let me read, let me see where we at. I said above all nations, so like all people that are upon the face of the earth. All people that are upon the face of the earth is meant to be beneath us. Meant to be beneath us. You understand? You know what I mean? We supposed to be running this whole earth. You know what I mean? Like we once did in the past. And that's gonna be our rightful place when Christ come back. He gonna, you know what I mean, take everything that was stolen from us. He gonna destroy everybody that harmed us. And we're gonna be back in our rightful place. All right. Let me get some more. Let me get another precept. Get another precept. So that we know now we can't be just any old way. We can't be any old way. I'm gonna address some comments. 1 second. Bear with me a second. I think he commented before. Take a look at the comments. And anybody got questions, you know what I mean? Go ahead, put it in the chat. Like this double did, right? So let me read. All right, so Sean 8049 asked, as a white man, I am beneath you. Ask me, right? So let me just get in the Bible. Actually, I just read it. Real talk, I just read it, but we can get other precepts as well. But let me read over this one since we're here already. All right. Zephaniah 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Now, when you read this precept and break it down more thoroughly this time around, when you look at this precept, it's talking about the Israelites. The Israelites, the whole book of Deuteronomy is talking about the Israelites. All right. So, you know what I mean? Moses is speaking to the Israelites in specific right here in this precept, hell, in this whole chapter, in this whole book. All right. I'm read on. It says, for thou art an holy people. It's like, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. All right. So we are holy people unto our God. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some more. It says, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Like I explained earlier, we special because, you know what I mean, the Most High said we special. And, you know what I mean, don't take reading the Bible to see that we special. You know what I mean? We rise to the occasion and anything that we, you know what I mean, step foot in, that we, you know what I mean, take it upon ourselves to uptake in this society. You know what I mean? We're the best at everything because we get it from our Father. We get it from the Most High. All right. He's special. He said that we are his special people, right? And the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. I'm going to read that last part again. It says, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Talking about these Israelites, these black people, the Latinos, and the Native American Indians, being above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So right there, that is including our oppressors, the slave masters. You understand? That's including them. You understand? There's your answer right there. We're supposed to be above. We are above now. You understand? Ain't no getting around that. We're above all people upon the face of this earth. So, you know, I mean, to answer your question, yes, we're above all people. You know, I mean, you name it, not just the oppressors, not just your people, but the East Indians, the African, you understand, the Chinese, the Japanese, you know what I mean? Every single nation, Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are above all of them nations because the Most High said it. It's in the Bible. You know what I mean? Now, hope that answers your question. Now, let me see. You know what I mean? So, black man, Hispanic man, to get on this side, to get on the Lord's good side, you know what I mean? Keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments is everything. Because these nations, our enemies, know once we don't keep these commandments, once we don't follow God, once we just say the hell with these commandments, we'll fall and they'll overtake us like nothing. We'll fall and they overtake us, and now we have nothing. And now we in America. Now will be here in America, suffering and dying, getting high. You understand? Celebrating their holidays. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Once we decide to disobey the Most High, now we'll just be here suffering, celebrating 4th of July. We'll be suffering here, you know what I mean, remembering Memorial Day and all that garbage. You understand? So putting a Christmas tree up in our house now when our oppressors tell us to. You know what I mean? That's why it's imperative. It's very, you know, important that we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Meaning, stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Stop celebrating these holidays. Stop celebrating your birthday. All these things that is elevated here in this wicked place. Everything that's elevated here and deemed as righteous here in this place. You understand? We gotta get rid of it and do away with it. You understand? I'm gonna address people in the comments. Got some want to say, all right. I don't want to steer off topic too much, but I'm gonna address people in the comments though. If they have some intelligent they want to that they think is intelligent or want to have an intelligent discussion. Let me see. Okay, I just think we are. Oh no. Well, I just read for you. We're not equal. So there we go. Let me see. Paul was a Greek convert to Judaism who was teaching against the law of Moses. Now, let's just get it. Let's just not go off of opinion because that's your opinion right there. You definitely get that out of the Bible. You know what I mean? So let's just get it. You know what I'm saying? And it would be important. It would be like, you know what I'm saying? It's a wise thing to not just talk and, you know what I mean, say different things because you can be wrong and you're 100% wrong right here. You know what I mean? And it's not very it's not smart. You know what I mean? It's not smart to just say anything out your mouth knowing that you don't got evidence to back it up. All right, let me get this preset for you. Let me get you what you need. First off, are you an oppressor or what? I'm gonna take you as you an oppressor. He said we're not. I don't know. But let me see. Bear with me a second. Bear with me a second. That's the thing about y'all in that Christian church. I don't got no you don't got no understanding. Let me get it quick. All right. I'm gonna read this precept. All right, and this should help y'all out. Romans 11:1. All right. This book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also, who is this talking? Do y'all know who's talking right here? You FBA, you one of them fools. All right. Man, but listen to this, brother. Romans 11:1. And this is Paul talking. This is Paul. All right. I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. You understand? Paul was an Israelite. Paul is an Israelite, and he's from the tribe of Benjamin. And the tribe of Benjamin today would be the, the so-called brothers in the Caribbean. The Jamaicans, the Trinidadians. The brothers from St. Paul and all them. You know what I mean? Those would be the, the tribe of Benjamin today, and that's what Paul was. Paul is a Benjamite out of the, nation of Israel. All right, he's an Israelite. Boom. All right, that's done. That's done right there. Now you know. All right. Now, the thing about the church, when you learn from the church, you start thinking like that. You start thinking like, thinking that all nations could be saved. All different nations got chances, opportunities to be saved. That's not in the Bible. They will try to teach you something out of the Bible saying that all nations could be saved. They don't know the Bible. They're not even ordained to even teach the Bible. You understand? You going up in there, the best thing, if you want to go in there and you want to learn something, go in there to learn how to sing real good. Go in there to learn how to be the best dancer, to be the best sissy. Go in there to do those things. But if you want to learn how to follow God, you want to learn about God, learn about the priests and prophets of the days of old. You want to learn how to be that way, and how to train your children up to be that way. You understand? You need to be in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. You understand? You're not going to find it in there. You understand? You're not going to find it in the stinking church. This church is a whorehouse. All right. The church is a house of Satan. Everybody up in there has sexual deviance issues. You understand? Well, put sexual deviance. You understand? There are sexual deviance in there, and they have countless scandals and that's in the news all over, where they talking about how they mishandling people, how they touching children. You understand? How they abusing people in there, taking their money, robbing them blind. You understand? They pass around the tithe bucket all day long in the church. You understand? But what do the people have to show for it? What do them people in the church got to show for it, right? What they have, they still go back to the ghetto once church let out. Once church let out, they still got to go back to the projects. They still got to go back to the hood. And stay in poverty when they leave, because they don't have any money. They don't have anything to show for coming out that church. But you know who does? Your pastor does. Your pastor do. Your pastor, he has all the money in the world, and he stacks it, and he stuffs it in his pocket. And he's driving all the nice cars. He's driving all the nice the SUVs and all that stuff. He has everything that he needs. He's making sure his family, his house is good. But what about your grandmother's house? What about your mother's house? What about your people? The very same, your aunties and all them that's howling in the church. What about them? They don't have anything to show for it, because they're being robbed blind and don't even know it. You understand? They going up in there, going on these little things they call retreats, being the biggest, what's. You know what I mean? The church is a whorehouse, and because you because you feel like you can learn the Bible from them, says a lot about you. You know what I mean? When you could obviously see, if you read the Bible and you know what it says in the Bible, and you look at the Christian church and you see that they're two total different things. They're two total different, there's, the total opposite. You're looking at two different things when you're looking at the church and looking at what the Bible is talking about. When you look at what the Bible is talking about, it's talking about laws, statutes, judgments. You understand? When you look at the church, you look at a lot of people singing, dancing. Where the tambourine at? Where people dancing like mimes and all that in the church. Where in the hell does it say to do any of those things in the Bible? Where the hell does it say to do any of those things in the in the New or the Old Testament? Or the Apocrypha? Nowhere does it say for a man to become a feminine sissy in like the church turns our young men to being. You understand? If I were you brothers, if I were any of y'all brothers out there, I would run out the Christian church. I would run out the Christian church. I would take your whole family, leave the church. You understand? Because before you know it, your pastor is gonna sleep with your woman. He's gonna molest your child, molest your he's gonna SA your children. You understand? He's gonna do everything wicked and vile and disgusting to you. You know what I mean? Until there's nothing left of your family. Till your kids, you know what I'm saying, is destroyed. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying is true because look at TD Jakes, look at Creflo Dollar, look at all of them. You understand? Don't think I'm telling a lie up here. You know what I mean? I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, we the home of the truth. Look at Creflo Dollar. Look at you know what I mean, all the Eddie Long. Look at that. Go look at them. You understand? I'll suggest you leave the church and stop upholding them in a light where they know what the hell they talking about. Because you could now got FBA. Are you FBA or are you Christian? Like, which one are you? You know what I'm saying? Is you FBA or are you Christian? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what the hell you is. That's why, you know what I mean, just leave all that garbage alone. Because FBA is garbage too. You understand? All y'all is money hungry and trying to just get all the money you can, and that ain't gonna happen without including all the 12 tribes of Israel. That ain't gonna happen without the black family. You know what I'm saying, including the Latinos and the Native American Indians. It's not gonna rise. We're not gonna rise. You know what I mean? The tribe of Judah. But let me put it like this: the tribe of Judah, the Negro here in America that was sold, you know what I mean, one of the tribes sold in the transatlantic slave trade, you understand, it's not going to rise, it's not going to succeed without the Latinos, without the Puerto Ricans, without the Native Americans, without the Dominicans, you understand, without the Haitians, without, you know what I mean, all them brothers, the West Indians, the Jamaicans and all them. We're not going to rise just us by ourselves. The whole 12 tribes are going to have to come together and rise together. That's how it's going to happen. You understand? Now, go learn about life some more and then come back to me with some more questions another time, all right? Let's get back to it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the church is, you know, you go up in there, you don't know what the hell you're gonna come out there damn halfway lost your damn mind. You know what I'm saying? That's why we gotta get out of there because, you know, you go up in there, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, you singing real good now, and you know how to sing, you know how to, you know what I mean? You were oh man, you excellent singer and dancer and all that now. We gotta leave all that behind. You know what I'm saying? We gotta leave that behind. You know what I mean? All them Christians up in there say they love God. They love God. They love God to death. You know what I mean? They don't know what loving God is. They don't know what loving God is. You know what I'm saying? They'll never know what loving God is. You know what I mean? I'm gonna read this for you. I'm gonna read this for you. You know what I'm saying? 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. You understand? So, what the church talk about? What the Christians talk about? I love God. I love God. But you know what I mean. On the other note, on the other hand, they, you know what I mean, they're essaying children. They sleeping with another man's woman. They got women in the pulpit. You know what I mean, exacting. You know what I mean, power over brothers in the church. You know what I mean, a woman shouldn't even be teaching the Bible at all because it's in the precept. It's in the New Testament for Christians out there. You understand? We can't learn nothing. We can't go forward. We can't learn anything. You know what I mean, or elevate as a people going in that Christian church. You understand, brother? It says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments." You know what I mean? The same FBA brothers talking about they want to be all black, blackety black, and all that. Same niggas that love white women. Same niggas, same brothers that love oppressive women. You know what I mean? Got a oppressive woman in the tuck at home. You understand? We gotta get away and do away from all these, you know what I mean, denominations that ain't gonna do nothing for black people. You know what I mean? All y'all doing over there is trying to get all the money you can and that ain't gonna happen. That just ain't gonna happen. All right, you know what I mean. So you know what I mean. You Christian, you hypocrite. It take a lot more than loving God than just saying, you know what I mean. It take a lot more to love God than just saying it. You know what I mean? Loving the Most High is going to take some action behind them words. It's going to take some action. You understand? You know what I mean? It's going to take real actions. You're going to have to change who you are to see the brother you is, you know what I mean, or the sister you are. You are, you know what I mean? You love this society. You love America. You know what I mean? You love everything. You love scheming. You love scheming for money like the FBA do. You know what I mean? You like scheming for money like the you know what I mean, Black Lives Matter group did back in their time, right? Love doing all those things, but that's not going to work. You're not going to save the black community by being, you know what I mean, some scammer. You know what I mean? You're not going to do that. The Lord ain't going to honor you either. He's going to destroy all that garbage. You understand? Because that's not what the Lord wants. That's not what the Lord wants. But he do want all the 12 tribes to come back together. He wants the 12 tribes of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to come back together. You know what I mean? Now, what I was going to go into earlier, well, I could just get some more precepts on this before I move on. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So let me see. One second. My bad. It's back to life. Let's get it. All right. First John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him. It's like here, and hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. You know what I mean? What Christians say all the day long, what they say, I love God, I love God. I mean, I know God. I know God, man. He in my heart. You don't know God, you understand? You know Shaitan. That's what you know, because and that's Satan in the Hebrew. But like, listen, because you don't keep any of his commandments. You don't do anything he says to do. You know what I mean? Every church, every year in the church, annually, y'all put up a big Christmas tree in y'all church, right? Right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Y'all put up a big Christmas tree in y'all church every year. Y'all celebrate Halloween in that church every year. Don't think I don't know. I be seeing y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all do these things every year. And y'all annually dishonor the most high. Annually, every year, y'all do something, y'all put something in place to dishonor the Lord, to dishonor the most high. And that's why the Lord is going to destroy every single last one of these churches. Every single last one of these churches, he's going to destroy them. You understand? He's going to bring more plagues along. I mean, y'all thought COVID-19 was something crazy, right? You know what I mean? Get ready, man. Hantavirus is coming through. You understand? There's gonna be more plagues, more sicknesses coming along. You know what I mean? The plague is back in the earth now too. You understand? So there you go. You know what I mean? Pastors was closing, locking their doors on black people during the COVID-19. You understand? But it's like not 2019, 2020 and 2021. You know what I mean? More of it is coming. More of it is coming. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? The time right now is to really change and get out of that church. Get out of that mosque. You know what I mean? They ain't, you know what I mean? They ain't safe either. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get out of there too. Cause now you worshiping the gods of the white man. It's like worshiping the gods of our oppressors, you worshiping the gods of the Arabs. You know what I mean? Which have nothing to do with you on both sides. Nothing to do with you on both sides, and you third class citizen in both of them. You know what I mean? Both of them ideologies. All right, so it's it's wise to find out what your culture is, find out who you are, find out what your you understand, find out what you're supposed to be in this earth, what your purpose is on this earth. You know what I mean? Is it your purpose to be a, you know what I mean, is it your purpose to be in these different, you know what I mean, things that's not gonna do anything for us, like FBAs. Like FBAs. Give it 5 years, if that. You're not even going like you ain't gonna hear nothing about no FBAs. You understand? You ain't gonna hear nothing about none of them. Them niggas gonna be forgotten about because the Lord is not with them. But the I.S.U.P.K. since 1969, we've been around and we still here and we still rocking because the Lord is in the I.S.U.P.K. The Lord dwells here. You know what I mean? This is where the priests and the prophets dwell. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is with the I.S.U.P.K. So we're going to keep rising. You're going to keep seeing us because this is what our people need to hear, not some FBA Christian nigga who don't know what he, you know what I mean, what he don't know what he want to do with his life and nothing like that. You know what I mean? This is that ain't it. The I.S.U.P.K. is where you need to be to find out who you are, your identity, to find out how to change your life, find out how to change who you are, you know what I mean, to become a brand new person. That's where you learn that at in here. You know what I mean? I blame our oppressors for, you know what I mean, putting these traps and snares on our people like that, man. Because you see, like brothers like that, we destroy just like that. We destroy, and that ain't the you know what I mean. It's a lot of brothers that think that way. You understand? So let's get some more. I'm gonna get some more on this, right? Bear with me. I believe. Gonna meet me in Thessalonians. It's cool. Go to Second Thessalonians, chapter 3. I'm in chapter 2, verse 3. All right. Let me see. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. Talking about the trembling of this society. Talking about, you know what I mean, the fall of this world we living in today. Whose world are we living in? We're living in our oppressor's world. This is his heaven. This is his kingdom. You understand? This is, you know what I mean? He's living in his heaven right now. Our oppressors. They're living in their heaven. How you know? Because they run everything. They run everything. They don't have to. They can be They could be trailer park trash, and they'll get hired in a high position in some office somewhere. You understand? They can get high all day long. You understand? And they will get a high position in wherever they want to go. You understand? Because of them being oppressors. Because they're the ones that this is their heaven. This is their heaven where they are, you know what I mean, not suffering, but they're ruling. All right. This is their heaven. And let me see. Get some more. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. The son of perdition be revealed. You understand? Before I go there, somebody in the comment. All right, so it'll be oppressive a lot of times to say, I'm not ruling, I'm not doing anything. I'm not the cause of slavery. I'm not the ones that had them in slavery. But today you're benefiting off of slavery. You're benefiting off of this society that rules and oppresses black people today. You're benefiting. All right. Don't care. You could be trailer park trash. You could be a very low grade Edomite. You understand? But that does not matter because you're Salakin, because you are, you know what I mean, benefiting off of this slavery and oppression we're under today, to this day. You're benefiting from it. All right. Brings me back to this video where 12 Shield General Hyman was talking, was basically chastising this devil, this she devil, because she asked us, You know what I mean? How much we love our country. And he was telling her, man, look, like he's telling her we are the most patriotic on this in this country because we fought in all your wars. We shed blood on American soil. You know what I mean? And fought in one wars for you. You know what I mean? There's nobody more patriotic than us. You understand? And we are suffering today, and we did all those things for you. And also you're benefiting off of what your fathers did to us, what your forefathers did to us, what Abraham, us like what George Washington did to us, what Andrew Jackson did to us. You're benefiting from it. They had to shed blood. They had to mass unalive innocent people for them for you and your people to just roam around here and buy and get and do whatever you want, get high the way you want, and SA all the children all day long freely, you know what I'm saying, without barely getting caught or barely getting charged or tried for any of the other crimes that you committed. You understand? Your forefathers had to shed innocent blood for that, and you're benefiting off of it. There you go. Now let me get what I was talking about. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, that man of and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. I mean, who is our oppressor? When everybody turns and see that this oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, then I mean, we're really close to, I mean, Christ coming back. You know what I mean? Which is what we seeing today. What we all seeing today. I hope brothers and sisters ain't forget about them Epstein files. You understand? Us reading and looking at them Epstein files, we see that this devil, that these Edomites are the devil the Bible speaks of. They are for sure the devil the Bible speaks of. We see what happened with what went down in them Epstein files. You know what I mean? With our president today, that Charles, like not our president, so like ain't my president. But what the president of the United States, I mean, has done in them Epstein files that y'all elected, that y'all voted for, stupid. What you did, you know what I'm saying, in electing an oppressor to be president, you know what I'm saying, who single-handedly took it upon. He's in the Epstein files more than Jesus is named in the Bible. Y'all know that, right? That's actual fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact that was actually calculated out and, what I mean, brought forth to, what I mean, as a fact. So he was in there he was in there eating, essaying babies. You understand? Allegedly. So y'all go in there and y'all see all that going on. Y'all know, you would know, you would have no other choice but to see that this devil, that these oppressors are the devil the Bible speaks of. That he is that man of perdition. He is the man of perdition because, damn. All right, you essaying children, you okay, and you eating babies, okay, you cooking, eating baby, you getting you taking what's it called? Adrenochrome. I might be mispronouncing that wrong, from babies and all that. You're doing all these different things that's evil and wicked, and these are just things that was, I mean, exposed to us. It's a lot more that's in there that ain't talked about. You understand? That ain't talked about or didn't get brought out. You know what I'm saying? And they do all these things behind closed doors. God knows what is happening. He is the man of perdition. They bombed what's the name? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know what I mean? For nothing really. You know what I mean? They bombed them into the Stone Ages. You understand? You know what I mean? They committed the transatlantic slave trade, the greatest Holocaust ever in the transatlantic slave trade, where 99 million black people died. The Trail of Tears, where 77 million Native Americans perished. 1492, you know what I mean, where countless amount of Puerto Ricans, you know what I mean, Latinos were unalived and slaughtered. by the hands of yours truly, the son of perdition, this devil the Bible speaks of, man. You know what I mean? Our slave master. I mean, so what we have to do, like I said earlier, let's see if I get some more. Let's see if I get some more. I'm gonna go down. So what you gotta do is come into I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Gotta come up in here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come into I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Change your life. Don't do that same thing you've been always doing, being that same sinner you always were. Change. Change. Become a brand new person, a brand new man, a brand new sister. All right, brand new, you know what I mean, man and woman. Come up in here. Once you do that, and once you come up in here, do this. Read the precept. It says, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 15. Therefore, brethren, stand fast, which means to stand strong. Stand strong against all evil forces trying to come at you, trying to knock you off the square. Brothers in here, you know what I'm saying? We endure so much, you know what I mean? And fighting demons, helping other brothers fight their demons. You understand? Where we don't get straight off to the wrong path. You understand? The path to the kingdom of heaven is very narrow. You understand? It's very narrow. Paraphrasing, where one side is, you know what I mean, raven waters. You understand? The other side is, you know what I mean, flames of fire. In the middle is very narrow, going towards the kingdom of heaven, which means, man, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but damn sure up for the task, though, to raise these brothers and sisters up in righteousness, and to have them, follow God. You know what I mean? And we doing it. We doing it. You know what I mean? We just was in Camden, New Jersey, giving food away off the grill to brothers and sisters that's starving out there. And have nobody else to care for them. You understand? But this is what it takes. It takes men of the Lord that, you know what I mean, that will do the job. Because we have black leaders today that do not give a damn about us. Do not give a damn about what happens to us. That's why they over there politicking with our oppressors. That's why they over there talking to them and seeking ways they can stay in power. And the only way they're gonna stay in power, and that our oppressors let them stay in power, is if they destroy us, if they lay snares down, if they trick us into going into their Christian church and learn to be a sodomite like them. I digress. Let me get some more. Stand fast and hold the traditions which ye have been taught. What we've been taught here is what? To keep the high holy days. Keep the high holy days. Keep them sacred. Keep the Passover. You understand? Keep the Day of Atonement. Keep all these different days. You understand? The Feast of Tabernacles. You understand? Keep all these days that the Most High gave to us, that the Most High wants us to observe. You understand? Keep the brotherhood. The brotherhood. We gotta love these brothers and sisters up in here, man. We gotta love them and hold it tight, because this is the main thing that we need right now, and we're gonna need it in the near future, because these other nations, man, and this society more so, this society as we know it is about to be destroyed. So what we have to have now more than ever is brotherhood. You know what I mean? That's why we have to love another brother more than ourselves. Understand, another sister more than ourselves. You know what I mean? That's why Christ said to prefer your brother over yourself. Paraphrasing. You know what I mean? That's why we have to do these things. This is going to prep us for the days to come. Let me get some more. Whether by word or our epistle. You understand? By the ways we were taught from the men before us. You know what I mean? Commander YAHANNA, he held it down since 1969. You understand? Since 1960, it's like he held it down. You know what I mean? He was taught by them brothers that held it down since 1969. You know what I mean? And brothers went away and did their own thing, but Commander YAHANNA stayed strong and kept this truth going. up all the way up until today. And now look at us. We all over the globe now, teaching brothers how to be righteous and teaching brothers how to follow God the right way, for real. Follow God for real, not that BS they teach you in the church. Understand? That's how we have to be. And this is what we have to do. You know what I mean? With that, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. And I'm gonna see y'all next time, you know what I mean, on the Brotherhood Class. For, you know what I mean, Brotherhood Class for you, for you know what I mean, the training classes and all that. All right. So with that, man, I'm gonna say shalom, shalom, Yahal Bashim Shah, Barakatah, and Yahweh Shema Thumb by Shimi Shah to the sisters out there. Understand we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West on the 25th Street Hall, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969. Truth being that blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are God's chosen people according to the Bible. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to say it in Spanish real quick. I'm gonna get my Spanish. Hold on a second. If I could find it. All right, bet. Now, this might be flawed, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's like, soy el oficial matamia del I.S.U.P.K, una organización que comenzó en la calle 125 en Harlem, Nueva York. Bajo el mando del general YAHANNA, instalamos que los negros, los hispanos y los nativos americanos son familia y son el pueblo elegido de Dios, según la Biblia. All right. Now, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Now, all right, I'm gonna see y'all next week. That's shalom.